case you haven't been watching the news, we got a fight on our hands.
Yeah.
We got a big fight on our hands. It's a fight that we can't lose. And I am endorsing Kamala Harris because in November, she will defeat Donald Trump.
So I want to first of all thank all of the leaders who took this stage this afternoon before I came on stage. I want to thank you all for your leadership, for your support, for your service, for your dedication, for the partnership. We are very fortunate and very blessed in California.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. But we have extraordinary leaders, many of whom I have worked with over many years, who do their work in a way that is very personal about representing the people of our state and being a voice for those things that must be spoken and heard, and being leaders for the most voiceless and vulnerable among them. And I'm honored to have you leaders with us today, and I'm so honored to have your support. Can we please give it up for all of the folks? We announced in Oakland, a place in my birth, many weeks ago now. And I think many of you know I now live in Los Angeles. I actually gave myself a name. I decided that I am a Sangelino. And it was wonderful though, and many of you were there with us in Oakland, where we brought together what we thought were going to be a few thousand people, and about 22,000 of our best friends showed up. So that was nice. And as you all can imagine, a lot of folks have been asking, because we're still at the beginning of the campaign. So a lot of folks have been asking, why are you running? Why are you running? And I tell them there are many reasons. Many reasons. One has to do with what I think we all know, which is that we are at an inflection moment in the history of our country. We are at a moment in time where we are each individually and collectively being required to look in a mirror and ask a question. That question being, who are we? And I think what we all know is part of the answer to that question is, we are better than this. So this then becomes a moment that we must fight for the best of who we are, and fight we will. People ask me, why are you running? I say, well, I believe that this is a moment in time where anyone who professes to be a leader has got to fight for the importance of restoring truth and justice in our country. Truth and justice. I believe this is a moment in time where anyone who professes to be a leader has got to fight for the importance of restoring equal opportunity for all people to succeed. And then there's kind of a personal reason I'm running, which is, my sister Maya and I, we were raised by a mother who was all of 5 feet tall. But if you had ever met our mother, you would have thought she was 7 feet tall. And she was the kind of parent who, if you ever came home complaining about something, the first thing she'd do is she'd put her hand on her hip and she'd look at you and she'd say, well, what are you going to do about it? So I decided to run for president of the United States. Of restoring truth and justice. So truth. A lot of us have been talking over the last couple of years about the importance of truth in the context mostly of the many untruths we've been hearing, right? But I'd ask that we also think about the importance of truth in this context, which is, there are a lot of people in our country right now who rightly feel a great sense of distrust in their government, its institutions, and leaders. And the thing about a relationship of trust, we know it in our personal lives, we know it in our professional lives. The thing about the nature of a relationship of trust is that it is a reciprocal relationship, right? You give and you receive trust. Well, one of the most important ingredients in trust is truth. But there's a funny thing about truth. Speaking truth can often make people quite uncomfortable. And for those of us who often speak behind a microphone or behind a podium, there's an incentive that when we speak, we'll engage in happy talk. We'll try to make everyone feel lovely. We'll sprinkle lovely dust all over the room, and people will applaud, and job will have been done. Well, speaking truth doesn't always accomplish that goal. But the other thing about speaking truth is this. Yes, people may walk away from that conversation thinking, no, I didn't particularly like what I had to hear. But they will also walk away from that conversation knowing it was an honest conversation. So I believe this is a moment in time where leaders must speak truth. So now you all are looking at me, okay, Kamala, what are some of the truths you have in mind? if Charlottesville didn't make it clear, if the Tree of Life Synagogue did not make it clear, if what recently happened in our backyard in Poway did not make it clear, racism, anti-Semitism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, these issues are real in our country. They are born out of hate. Hate which has recently received new fuel over these last 2 years. And we must all agree, wherever that hate displays itself, we must agree that we will speak out, that we will speak up. We must all agree that whomever is the subject of that hate should never be made to fight alone. Let's get true. Let's get true. America's economy is not working for working people. So how do we know that? Well, in our country today, almost half of American families cannot afford a $400 unexpected expense. In America today, in 99% of the counties in our country, if you are a minimum wage worker working full-time, you cannot afford market rate for a one-bedroom apartment. In America last year, 12 million people took out a loan of on average $400 from the payday lender at an interest rate of often in excess of 300%. America is not working for working people. And I find it really interesting, guys. I find it really interesting. So then, you know, supposed leaders, they walk around talking about, oh, the economy is great. The economy is great, they say. And so then you ask them, well, how so is this economy of yours doing so well? How might you be measuring this economy of yours? And they talk about the stock market. Well, that's fine if you own stocks. Then you ask, well, how else are you measuring this great economy of yours? And they talk about the unemployment numbers. Well, yeah, people are working. They're working 2 and 3 jobs to put food on the table.
Yeah!
And let's be clear, in our America, nobody should have to work more than 1 job to put food on the table and have a roof over their head. Agree on this. When you lift up the economic status of women, you lift up the economic status of families and communities and all of society. But yet in America today, women for the same work, for the equal work, on average make 80 cents on the dollar national priority on closing that pay gap. And holding corporations accountable for transparency and closing that gap. And you will see the announcement tomorrow. There will be penalties if they don't.
Yeah!
We are a society that pretends to care about education. But not so much the education of other people's children. Let's be true. So, I've been traveling our country. I cannot tell you the number of teachers I have met who are working 2, sometimes 3 jobs to pay the bills. 94% of teachers in public schools in America are coming out of their own pocket to help pay for school supplies. Teachers make on average 11% less than similarly educated college professionals. And what we all know is that it is just a fact. There are 2 groups of people raising our children. Parents, often with the assistance of grandparents and aunties and uncles, and our teachers. Yet we are not paying them their value. And you know, this is personal for me. My first grade teacher, Mrs. Frances Wilson, God rest her soul, attended my law school graduation. Yeah, but you know what? Many of us have a similar story of some teacher along the way who convinced us we were special. We weren't particularly special. But they told us we were, and we believed them. Which led us onto a path to being here together this afternoon, potentially making a decision about who might be the next president of the United States. So as president, I am prepared to close that teacher pay gap, and in particular, to invest in our teachers by creating the first ever national priority around closing the teacher pay gap through a federal investment in our teachers. So nationally, that number will be about $13,500 a year. Here in California, it'll be about $10,300 a year. So let's just put this in perspective. $10,300 a year in most places in our state represents a year's worth of mortgage payments. $10,300 a year in most places in our state represents a year's worth of groceries. $10,300 a year represents putting a significant dent in student loan debt, which is one of the greatest barriers to our students coming out and being able to join the teaching profession. And to put a fine point on this issue, I strongly believe that you can and must judge a society based on how it treats its children. And one of the greatest expressions of love that a society can extend toward its children is to invest in their education, and by extension, their teachers. Let's be true. And I'll tell you what else I plan to do as president on the issue of the economy. I am proposing that we change the tax code of the United States. And in particular, I am proposing that for families that make less than $10,000 a year, $100,000 a year,
Make less
because that's a whole other plan we got to do there. For families that make less than $100,000 a year, I'm proposing that we change the tax code such that those families will receive a tax credit of up to $6,000 a year, that you can receive it up to $500 a month, which will be all the difference between being able to get through the end of the month with dignity and not. Then when I announced my proposal, there were those who then said, well, how are you going to pay for that? Well, I will tell you how. On day one, we're going to repeal that tax bill that should be a right for everyone and not a privilege of those who can afford it. Which is why I'm supporting Medicare for all. And let's also speak truth that this past week made clear women's access to reproductive health care is under attack. Let's speak truth that on any given weeknight in America, there are families that sit down to dinner during which the parents look at their children, elementary, middle, high school students, and ask them, darling, how was your day? To which those children respond, wasn't a good day. Why? What happened? Well, we had to have a drill where we learned about how we have to go and hide in a closet if there is a mass shooter roaming the hallways of our school. Why, mommy and daddy, or mommy and mommy, or daddy and daddy? Why do we have to have that drill? To which, of course, the response is, because there are supposed leaders in Washington, D.C. who have failed to have the courage to reject a false choice which suggests you're either in favor of the Second Amendment or you want to take everyone's guns away. Supposed leaders who have failed to have the courage to agree, fine if you want to go hunting, but we need reasonable gun safety laws in this country. Done with this. Like, I'm just done.
Yeah.
And we've been working on it, many of us together for years. And the thing is, on this subject, it's not like we're waiting for a tragedy to prompt action. We've seen the worst of human tragedies. It's not like, are we waiting for a good idea? Nope. What we're waiting on is Congress to have the courage to act.
Yes.
So, when elected president, I will give the United States Congress 100 days to pull their act together. I am prepared to take executive action. Put in place what will be the most comprehensive national background check requirement. Requiring that they will have to require anybody who sells more than 5 guns a year has to do a background check on the people they sell them to. Requiring the ATF to take the licenses from anybody who, as a gun dealer, violates the law. And let me tell you something. 90% of the guns that are used in crime are sold by just 5% of the gun dealers. We need enforcement, and as far as I'm concerned, the ATF is doing just a fine job on the A and the T, but they need to do a lot more on the F. The other executive action I'm prepared to take on this subject has to do with assault weapons particularly. There are 4 million assault weapons in our country that were imported from other countries. And I'm prepared to close that loophole by executive action. Let us be clear, 1 out of 4 police officers who is killed in the line of duty by gunfire is killed with an assault weapon, and we need a ban on importation of those weapons. Let's be true that our veterans sacrificed and were prepared to sacrifice everything they have, including their lives, for the sake of the protection of our democracy and our nation. And yet, we have an administration that is trying to goad Iran into war, but yet has not been dealing with the fact that we have 20 veterans a day who die suicide, and they're trying to privatize the VA. And we will not stand in dishonoring our veterans in that way. Let's speak truth. On any given day in America, there are families who must sit down with their son, sometimes their daughter, when that child turns about 12 years old, to have what's called the talk, wherein those parents explain, son, you may be stopped, you may be arrested, you may be shot because of the color of your skin. And we have to agree that we have a criminal justice system that on this subject is in need of reform, has often been informed by bias, and can be fixed. Let's be true. Let's be true. Separating babies from their parents at the border is not border security. In our country. Let's speak truth. Climate change is real. Yeah, but you know what? Isn't it kind of sad I have to say that? So you all sent me to the United States Senate about 2 years ago, so let me tell you. So I was in a committee hearing. I was in